So hello everyone, and I welcome you all once again to the today's session over design of roof truss with bolted connection. So in the last session we have finished the design of principal rafter, okay, with connections. So in today's session we are going to start the design of next member of roof truss, that is the design of tie member or design of tie beam. Okay, so this is what you can see. This is the geometry of roof truss. Okay, so for the design purpose you have to utilize the data provided in the geometry of the structure. So here we have finished with this member, what you can see in the green color, that is the principal rafter L0, U1, U1, U2 or U2, U3, same on this side. Okay, so in the today's session we are going to start with this member, the design of the bottom rafter or a tie beam, or it is called as main tie. Okay, so from L0 to L1, L1, L2, okay, and so on. So what you can see in the pink color, okay, that is called as the tie beam or tie member. So we have to proceed with design of this member. Okay, so we look out the maximum forces what you have calculated, that is what you call it as a design force. Okay, so here we have the table for the design forces. So as I told you, we have to convert the given forces into the load combinations, and from those load combinations we have to find out the maximum force, which is nothing but a design force. Okay, so the green color forces, what you can see here, these are the forces acting in the, or these are the forces for the main tie, forces for main tie, and from this we got the maximum forces are that is the compression is the tensile force is the 223.5 kilonewton and the compressive force is 327.9 kilonewton. So we have to design this, design the main tie for to carry or to counteract these two forces. Okay, so here again we have got the maximum force is compression. So here the maximum force is compression, so we have to design as a compression. Again later you have to check that member whether it is safe to carry the tension force or not. Okay, so we'll begin with that. Okay, so here design of main tie. So the second member, that is design of main tie. Design of main tie. Design of main tie. So the forces are the compressive forces. The compressive force is 327.9 kilonewton and the tensile force is it is 223.5 kilonewton. So this is what we got from the table, that is the calculation of design force. So here higher force, so just a note, higher force is compression, the higher force is compression. So we need to design as a compressive member, a compression member, we need to design as compression member. And check as tension member. So what does it mean here? What does it mean? So out of these two, we got the maximum force is compression. So we have to design for higher force, that is compression. So we design as compression member, means the procedure we have to start with design as a compression member. In the previous, that is for design of principal drafter, what we did, we the maximum force was tension. So we started design as a tension member, and later we checked that the same member whether it is safe to carry the compressive force. But now here it is the maximum force is compression. So we have to design the member as a compression force, as a compression member to carry the compression force, and the same member what you provide, that again later you have to check whether that member is to carry the design tensile force. Okay, so here we start with design of compression member. Design of compression member. Okay. So for design of compression member, again you have to use PD is equal to FCD into AE. Okay, correct na? So PD is the design force, is equal to FC into AE. FCD is nothing but the design compressive stress, and AE. So here, so how we can find out AE? The area AE is again PD by FCD, by making PD by FCD. So the PD is nothing but the force acting in the compression member. Okay, so FCD, so generally for double angle, so we have to provide as a double angle. Generally the principal drafter and main tie will be double angle. So for double angle, use FCD is equal to, you can assume 100 to 150 Newton per mm square. So you have to assume the value of FCD for double angle 100 to 150 Newton per mm square, and by using this FCD you have to find out A, and you have to select the section. Okay, so we will assume value of FCD, I will go for higher side, so I will assume 150 Newton per mm square. If the member is not safe, then you can go to the, like you can use 100 or 120, 110 like that. Okay, so we will try for 150 only. Okay, so therefore area is equal to 327.9 into 10⁻³ that is PD divided by FCD. FCD is 150. Okay, so we get area is equal to 2186 mm square. So you have to select a member of area more than or less, a little bit 5% variation we can adopt. Okay, so 2186 the member you have to choose. So again you have to go back to steel table. After this you have to go back to steel table, and you have to select a section that is double angle back to back. Generally go for equal angle sections. I repeat, go for equal angle sections and select a section. Okay, so again you have to refer steel table. So let us try. So I'll try for, you have to search and you have to try. So let us try 2 ISA 75 by 8. So you have to try ISA 75 by 75 by 8 back to back with 10 mm gusset plate, with 10 mm gusset plate. So I have selected 2 ISA 75 by 75 by 8 back to back with 10 mm gusset plate. So I will show you in the steel table. So we will refer steel table for that. So when you open steel table, okay, so you have to search for the properties of two angles back to back, that is for equal angles. Okay, what you can see here, we have two equal angles back to back with a gap, that is for the gusset plate. Okay, so here what you can see here, we have 50 by 50 and these are the thicknesses 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have selected 75 by 75 by 8. So little bit you have to go down. Yes, now here you can find ISA 75 by 75 by 8. Okay, so the thickness of leg is 8 and the size is 75 by 75. Okay, so now for 8 mm thickness, so what you can refer here, 8 mm thickness, the area is 22.76. so nothing but 2276. So you have to note down this, the area is 2276. Okay, mm. So here area is equal to 2276 mm square, which is again more than 2186. So no problem. Okay, now we have selected a section. So first of all we check whether it is safe as a compression member, whether it is safe to carry load as a compression member. Okay, now you have to go for check. So here check for compression member. First of all, because we are designing as a compression member and we have selected area with respect to design as a compression member, so again we have to check for compression member. So how you have to check for that? So first of all you have to find out the slenderness ratio lambda. The slenderness ratio lambda, nothing but KL by R minimum. So R is nothing but the radius of gyration, R minimum. Okay, and KL is nothing but what? Effective length. LE is nothing but K into L. LE is nothing but K into L. So the K is effective length factor. K is effective length factor. So that where K is 0.85. Okay, this again as per the code. If you want, I will show you that. Okay, here. So as per again IS 800 2007, page number 35, clause number 7.2.4. I repeat once again, as per IS 800 2007, page number 35, clause number 7.2.4, compression member in trusses. So that time what they have given, if it is bolted, riveted, welded, the effective length KL of the compression member shall be taken as 0.721. So we can consider from 0.721. So I have utilized 0.85. So what you can see here, the clause given, you can use the effective length factor K from 0.721. Okay, I have utilized 0.85. Understood? So you have to refer same clause. Understood? So next, so we'll find out here. So K is 0.85. L, the length of the principal, not the bottom rafter or the main tie, it is 1.55. So 1550 divided by R minimum, that is also very important here. So from steel table you will get the value RXX, RYY. You get RXX and RYY. So you have to refer 22.8. That is from steel table you get the radius of gyration about XX axis, that is 22.8, and about YY axis we get it is at 34.9 mm. Okay, we get these two values. So you have to choose least of these two, R minimum, least of these two. So that is nothing but RXX. So that is 22.8. So we get lambda is equal to 57.7. The value of lambda or the effective slenderness ratio is 57.7. Now what you have to do? You have to go back to IS 800 table number 9C. I will show you that. So here you have to go. You have to refer table number 9C. Okay, that is design compressive stress FCD for column buckling class C. Okay, so in the last session also I told you, okay, the angle sections are comes under buckling class C. Okay, so that's why you have to refer table number 9C, and even I told you how to refer this table. Okay, so we have to find out the value of FCD for the grade of steel FY 250. Okay, our grade of steel is FY 250, and the column given for slenderness ratio KL by R. Okay, so for that, so our KL by R is 57. So you have to interpolation you have to do between 50 and 60. You have to interpolate between 50 and 60. So for the value 183 and 168, and after interpolation you have to find out the value for 57.7. so we have to note down those values first. Okay, so we have to note down those values first. Okay, so for lambda we have got it is 50 and 60, and FCD we have got it is 183 and 168, and our value of FCD is 57.7. okay, 57.7. so we have to find out, and we get the value of this. After interpolation we get the value is 183 and 168. After interpolation we got 171.45 Newton per mm square. We get this. Okay, so then therefore PD is equal to again what? AE into FCD. AE into FCD. So therefore, so AE is here. We have got already 2276 into FCD. The value of FCD is 171.45. okay, equal to the PD. So we get PD is equal to 390.22 kilonewton. Correct na? Force is equal to area into stress. Area into stress. 390.22 kilonewton, which is more than 327.9 kilonewton. 9 kilonewton. Therefore, okay or safe as compression member. The member what you have selected, okay, it is safe to carry the compressive force. Now the same member, because it is carrying both the forces, that is the tensile force as well as the compressive force. Okay, so for the compression it is safe. Now the same member what you have provided, you have to check for tension, whether the member is safe to carry the tensile force. Okay, so that will continue in the next session. Okay, thank you very much.